Yo, this is how I made $33,000, $33,128.40. $33,128.40. Day trading the NASDAQ and S&P 500 this morning. Let's get into it. So, this was the trade. This was a great trade. Literally like zero drawdown. Let's go over the bias. So, we had a high time frame SMT coming into market open. Let's get rid of some of these drawings. So as you can see, off these session highs, we had a high time frame SMT. So on ES, we had this high and this lower high. So we had this high and then this lower high. And then on NQ, we had this high and this higher high. So we had a high time frame SMT, and then we also just had a lot of low resistance liquidity. So we had low resistance liquidity, low resistance liquidity, low resistance liquidity, and then some high resistance liquidity. So I really wanted to see all of these get swept. The really only main draw was up here, and then session, or I guess New York open highs, New York pre-market highs. Was really just this, and then from across we have these highs over here and then these highs, which actually are marked out so I can show you. So I personally wanted to see us take out some of this low resistance liquidity. Wow, ES got all the way down here. I wanted to see us take out some of this low resistance liquidity. Personally, what I see long term is I see us building a lot of low resistance liquidity down here. I'm going to change that back to red. I see us building a lot of low resistance liquidity that we're going to want to come sweep eventually. And it looks like we're starting to make those sweeps. On top of that, we are getting kind of close to all-time highs. So in order to get there, bare minimum, I actually kind of do want to see a lot of these get swept. Do I think that's going to happen in December? I would say I do. I could see us coming to sweep all of these before heading up to these highs, and then also all-time highs right here. I do think that we are going to be hitting all-time highs early January to start off the year. I think that's really possible. What I would like to see, though, is us have a pretty bullish reaction coming into the new year, and then kind of like a deep sell-off pretty soon after. Because we have just so much liquidity that we haven't really grabbed yet down here, but now it's just like we're getting farther and farther away. So we'll have to see. But obviously we're trading towards these new highs up here ultimately. But I do want to see some of these get swept. So with that being said, my overall bias today was indeed shorts, and I wanted to see a lot of these lows get taken out. Obviously, I only targeted these stacked low resistance lows. I thought this low was a little bit of a reach. But as you can see, it did end up getting hit. I did take the trade on NASDAQ, and we'll get into that. But so coming into market open, we came and made swept session highs on NQ and made a high time frame SMT. With ES actually as the leading index. So if we scale down to the 5-minute, we pretty clearly broke structure to the downside. I wanted to see us I originally wanted to take the trade on ES, and I wanted to see this low and these lows get swept. But we just market opened, and we just absolutely tanked. As you can see, I have equilibrium drawn out because I wanted to see it get filled or this 5 minute. Neither got filled on either of the indexes. And so the reason I ended up taking the trade on NQ, despite this high time frame SMT, was because we still had yet to take out the low and kind of complete the SMT on NQ, whereas ES had already taken out this low before I could even get a 5 minute retrace. So as you can see, when a market opened, I wanted to see this 5 minute get filled or hit equilibrium. We had already swept a session low and this high time frame low before we even got this 5 minute retrace. So once we did get that retrace, I wanted to see continuation confluence, especially being so close now then to these near equal lows. I still wanted to see those get swept. I didn't end up taking this trade on ES, but I did have it marked out. But we got a lot better of a risk to reward on NQ, as you can see. So with that being said, I took the trade on NQ. We got the 5 minute retrace, and I scaled down, just looking for a 1 minute break of structure. We actually might have hit equilibrium on NQ. I honestly can't remember. Oh wait, this was the 5 minute retrace actually. Yeah, we did. Oh yeah, we did. That's why I scaled down. Duh. Yeah, this was like textbook. So yeah, we scaled down once equilibrium got hit on the 5 minute. And then from there we just needed a 1 minute break of structure. And what's beautiful is that we created a 1 minute bullish fair value gap. As you can see, after hitting equilibrium, like with the same candle that hit equilibrium. And I love that. On top of that, I'm actually pretty sure this was a 1 minute SMT. I'm gonna go look right now. 9:43 and 9:39. Dude. $9.43, $9.39. Okay, it's not, but this was. Yeah, this is the SMT right here. So $9.39 to $9.47, and then NQ created a lower low. So we have a 1 minute SMT on top of that. Oh, it is that high though, because 47 is all the way down here. It would be like this candle, but the high is up here. So yeah. Again, a 1 minute SMT on the leading index for NASDAQ, plus NASDAQ hadn't taken out those lows yet. So I did want to take the trade on NASDAQ. Here's where it got interesting. So we actually, as soon as we invalidated this bullish fair value gap, I entered on the 1 minute, stops above the fair value gap candle. And I actually moved my stops to, my plan was to move stops to break even take partials and move stops to break even as soon as we took these near equal lows down here on NQ. So I actually did that. So we swept lows, we start tanking. I'm in super heavy floating profit right there. And I move stops to break even right here, and we come and get a retrace. I mean, look at how close I was to getting stopped at break even right here. I was break even, and we were so close to getting stopped at break even. So I think that's one thing about my trade that I would change is I need to give yes, there can be times where if there's a high draw on liquidity and it gets swept and that could potentially get us an inverse, I think it's a good idea to move stops to break even. But for trades where it's textbook, and honestly, I need to be giving my trade some breathing room to go take out the rest of the liquidity that my bias is already saying. So with that being said, I did move my stops to break even and didn't get stopped out, zero drawdown. we created this low that was like kind of equal with the near equal lows on ES. Right here. So these are the same lows, this low marked out. I took heavy partials when ES hit these two equal lows as well, just because two stacked lows like that are pretty high draws and liquidity. So I took heavy partials. It was somewhere around here, which was already close to this take profit, so I didn't take more right there. But then we kept on tanking, and I was going to take partials here and here, but this candle swiped out so fast that I only ended up taking partials somewhere like in the middle, closer to this lower one, which actually got me more profit on the day. Then we had a little bit of a retrace, came down and took out the final draw on liquidity to close the position. And of course, we could have made generational wealth if we had held this position and all the way to this low down here, but we did not. We took full take profit right there. Again, super risk off trade with this moving stops break even, and we somehow didn't even get stopped at break even. Zero drawdown. Beautiful trade, textbook trade. It was just a little bit sketchy when we were in this chopping range before we finally had our distribution to take out all that liquidity. Now, I will say one thing. So I made I said at the beginning of this, I made $33,128 today. In reality, I made $2,200 I made $2,208.56 across 15 accounts, which is 33,000. Now here's my complaint, and where I did not actually make 33 grand, because I made 2.2K on one account, and my trade syncer did not work, and it did not copy trade to the rest of my accounts, which as a total is 15 funded accounts. It did not copy trade. So today I made $2,208 on one account, when that should be spread across 15 funded accounts for a total of $33,000. It was heartbreaking to be monitoring my position and realizing that the trade syncer did not work and my trade had not been copy traded. I should have made over 30 grand today, and I made just over 2,000. You can imagine how disappointing that is, how hard that is, especially considering that if that was the case, I would by all means be done trading for December within one trading day. And now I'm going to continue to trade. Hopefully December continues to have some good price action. I don't want to be trading past December 15th. December 18th is my hard stop, a week out from Christmas. I believe that's a Thursday. It's so unfortunate, but there's really nothing I can do. I can't let this kind of get in my head and think, okay, well now I need to go make that money back. I cannot have that mindset going into the rest of the week. It's unfortunate, but shit happens. And, this is one of the things when you're copy trading 15 funded accounts and shit like this happens, I have to zoom out and realize I'm still on a funded account. That shit's going to happen on a funded account. I need to keep stacking my bricks. I need to keep going day by day, week by week, and say, damn, another day. I'm just going to keep going at it until I make enough money to where I don't have to have these problems, because I can be on a live account. There's no one to blame but myself. I'm on funded accounts. And until I'm on a live account, I'm going to have to deal with shit like this. So, that's part of it, part of the game. Really testing my emotions today. I'll see what I end up titling this video. Well, I know I'm going to title it, I made 33 grand, because I should have. But I haven't decided what I'm going to put in the parentheses yet. Probably like, I hate trading or something like that. But hey man, this is part of the game. Shit happens. You know what? All you can tell yourself is, okay, my MetaTrader didn't copy my 15 funded accounts and I made 2.2K on one of them. So I ended the day on 2.2K when it should have been 33K across all 15. And I just have to tell myself, well, I predicted where the market wanted to go. You know how many people can do that? Less than 1% of traders can do that. And I predicted where the market wanted to go, and I made money today. I may have lost out on over $30,000 of gains, and that money is rightfully mine, and it's not my fault that my MetaTrader didn't copy trade across 15 funded accounts. But I made money today, pennies in the pennies in the fucking bank is still money. And so until I get that money given back to me, the market will give it back to me. I'm confident in myself. I know I'm a profitable trader. I'm not going to revenge trade and say, oh, well, I need to make that money right now, so I'm going to trade tomorrow and over leverage to make that money back. No. It happens, and I'm going to keep on getting on these charts, keep on putting in the work, and I'll have another 30K day. But today, emotions get tested, and we're not going to let it hurt us. So, maybe that's God telling me stop thinking about the money. I don't know. So, anyways, pretty good trade today. Signaled it in the WAP. A 1 to 2.9 risk to reward. All signaled in the WAP. When I took take profits, when I moved my stops to break even. Pretty good day today. So, I didn't make 30 grand when I should have, but I also didn't lose $15,000 today. So there's that. But I guess that's all from me. I am going to be scaling down. I am scaled down. So today was a pretty big risk to reward trade for me. Usually I'm around 1.7 average. And today was almost 1 to 3. So today was a bigger P&L, bigger title. Should have been a bigger P&L, bigger title. Personally, I know that I made 33K today, whether I'm going to see that money or not. But, it's how the market works. We get tested. This is a test, and I'm not letting it hurt me. So I'll catch you guys until the next 30K thumbnail. Another 2 bands today, but there will be another day where that 30K will hit my bank account. So see you guys.